Alright fam, here's the thing. I'm in a hotel, I'm just checking out, but I get so many questions and DMs on this one particular thing, and as if you follow my content, you know that I call this perfectly this reversal, and we made a ton of money from these trades, and the community made a lot of money as well. So like they're posting it in here, which is incredible. And so the question really is, how did I know that we're going to have a reversal here? And I said, trading is a game of probabilities. I've not seen a perfect textbook face melting high probability setup like this in a lifetime. And if price action does not play out, something like this, I'll question everything. And I drafted this here. And if you look back, this is exactly what happens. So if you look at the total market cap, this was my drawing here. And this is exactly what happened. And we have created a new high. Total market cap went like 4%. Most of the tokens went up decently. So if you look here, on the week, we have Pith up 24%, Jupiter 17, T at 12, Cake 84, Trump 23. So the question was that I got a lot of DMs. How do you actually know? How did you know that we are going to go up? And it's very simple. Okay, so there's this simple technique that I wanna show you, that I use multiple times. Again, if you follow my content on X or here, you know it. If you don't, I encourage you to go there. You literally can lose nothing. Go onto my X profile. There's a link in the description. Scroll through. You will see posts like this and people making money. So when I actually tweeted this and I said thank you for playing, look at how many people posted their own trades that I literally just helped them take from my X profile simply. So go into my X profile. There's a link in the description, and make sure that you turn on post notifications. Okay, so let's get into it. Here is the TLDR very shortly. Markets always retrace 50%. Again, if you follow my content, you know I talk about the 50% retracement, but here's how it actually works. Market, whether that's market makers, institutions, whatever you want to call them, smart money drives the price back to 50%. Why? Well, if you want to buy a shoe, how much you want to pay for it? As little as possible. Therefore, you want to buy at discount. But if you already have a premium shoe and you want to sell it, you want to get as much money for it as possible. Therefore, you want to sell in premium. That's the very same scenario with exchanges as well. Not necessarily exchanges, but market makers, exchanges, whoever drives the market. So if you look here, for example, how do you define this? Let's say this is a pump, right? How do you define what is premium pricing and what is discount pricing? And it's super simple. The way to do that is market makers usually drive the price back below 50%. So let's assume this is a chart, right? This is how price action goes. We're making lower low, low high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we grind our way up. And so how do I know that this here is discount price or premium price? How do I know that this here is premium or discount price? Market makers usually drive the price back to 50%. Now you go into your Fibonacci tool here on the left side. You can click on this little thing. You can go on Fib retracement. When you're on Fib retracement, you pull a Fib. This is not how it will look for you. You double click it, and you leave the 0, the 0.5, and the 1 in. You can even sell it. You can save it. You can go down to templates. You can go and save as. You can save it as 50% Fefe retrace, let's say, and then you're gonna have that, and you will be able to just tick it out and have it for your arsenal. You only need the 0, 0.5, and the 1. Okay, so once you have this, you will see 3 lines. You will see the upper line here, this here. You will see the middle line, and you will see the bottom line. Now, the middle line is a 50% retrace. That means if I pull this Fibonacci tool now from the bottom to the top of the move, just delete this here. This is the only Fib I use, by the way. You don't need anything else. If I pull it from the bottom to the top, you will wait for a 50% retrace. Okay? That means this down here is the discount zone. This is the discount. I will put a big D on it. This is the discount zone where institutions and market makers want to buy. And this up here above is the premium zone. This is where they want to offload. This is where they want to sell. Why? Because you always sell in premium and buy in discount. Okay? So once you understand this, when there's a pump and you're feeling FOMO to get into that pump, you don't. Why? Because you understand that you do not buy in premium. So now that you understood that, I will show you all this on the chart as well. But now that you understood this, how do you, when you have the 50% discount, when you have the retrace, what do you really do? So let's say the market goes like this, right? Very simply for now. And then we're going to deep dive into it. Again, I just want to remind you to follow me next. I do all this and help you. Okay, so So if you pull this here, you want to wait for a 50% discount. When you have the 50% discount, you need to find a confirmation. Okay, let's say this is the 4-hour chart because you are working 9 to 5, you don't have time to trade, you don't have time to monitor the charts. This can be the hourly or the 4-hour, the daily chart. Then you go down here onto the 15-minute chart, okay? 15, you set an alert here at the 50%. And when the alert goes off, you can set it here, simply. Here's this plus button, you set an alert, add an alert. You got a notification. There is a 50% retrace on this specific token. Here's what you do. You go down into the 15-minute chart and you wait for a market structure shift, which is a higher high, basically. So the market on the 15-minute will do this. As you see on the higher time frame, we do see it making a higher high and higher low. On the lower time frame, this retrace, what you see here, this retrace will consist of multiple lower lows and lower highs on a 15-minute chart. I hope that makes sense. If not, please rewatch the video, but it should make sense. If not, just comment below, I'll help you. So, at some point, when you are below the 50% level down here, when you're in discount, here's what you want to see. A higher high on the 15-minute. Very simple. But it has to happen in the discount zone, down here. It has to happen on the discount zone, okay? When that happens, on the discount zone, in a higher time frame uptrend, you have a very, very, very good chance of taking a trade. You can take the trade either, I would recommend you do this in the bull market, but you can take the trade either as you put the stop loss on the 15-minute low as in a scalp trade. That means your 15-minute, that means you will have your stop loss here, you would play it until here, and then you would ride the rest. Or if you're adding to your positions because you believe that there'll be the bull market happening, every single 15-minute confirmation that you have below the discount zone, you can add to your position and keep your stop loss on the major low, 4-hour low here. Okay? So this is how you play it. Let me show you on the chart. If you don't understand this, please let me know in the comments. I also try to look through all my DMs, and if the question really does make sense, I'll reply to you. So let's say you are on the. So let's take this scenario that we had here on this chart that I called perfectly, and how did I really know that it was going to happen? So here, when we had this massive liquidation event, right? We had this massive liquidation event. This is not a lower low, lower high scenario, which is fine because I know that when we have a massive liquidation event like this that we had on the 3rd, 4th of February, the 2nd of February, that is enough. So I consider that as being like a structurally fine point, and we need to see a reversal. Now we did see a reversal, a pump of 17-18%, which is massive. This means that there is strength in this level. Therefore, I did not buy anything on this. I didn't buy anything. And this is what I said about the FOMO, right? People were like, here everybody said, well, breakout, and I don't know, people called people drafted like trend lines, and I don't know, whatever they did. But they were buying into this. I did not buy anything. Why? Because it comes back 50%. So if you pull the fib from the bottom to the top here, as I showed you, bottom of the move to the top of the move, it came back 50. Now you could possibly just start getting in here, as I said, but you want to wait for confirmation. You go down to the 15-minute chart. This is what I said. When we get there for the first time, you go down onto the 15-minute chart and you look at the market structure. And in this scenario, it was very, very clear. Very clear. So if you look here, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, and you just go all the way down here. It's even this one. Okay, anyway. It comes back lower, high, low. It's like a very clear market structure. And at some point, here we touch onto 50%. I'm sorry. We touch onto 50% here. So what is my range? This is my range, right? This here, because this is the high, and this is the low. So I need to see, what did I say? A market structure shift, which is a higher high. So I needed to see this. That didn't happen. Cool. So I'm still waiting. And then I form a high here. And pay attention now. For a market structure shift to happen, and this is going to be a completely different video, but you need to see a close below the previous low. This was the previous low, and there's a close. You see there's a candle close below. That confirms a new low. If that was just a wick, that's a liquidity hunt. That doesn't matter. But you have a close below. That means this level has a massive amount of strength. Therefore, this is a very valid level. And so since we close above, literally on a higher time frame, 50%, as I explained to you, it touches onto the 50% and makes a higher high. This is the first super strong indication there's a reversal going to happen. And I also told you that markets retrace 50% on any time frame. So if you have gotten in there, that would also have been good. Or you could have just waited for the 50%. 50% came, you gotten in here, and you had a perfect trade. Now, when this came back on all the CPI data, and then I was thinking, I was on the shows, I was telling you that if we break below here, this level is the low because this created, you remember I also told you that you can place your stop loss two places. You can place your stop loss, here below the 15 minute, or you can just buy it every 15 minute market structure shift and put your stop loss down here. So if you look at this one, I was saying that if we close below here, we're probably going to go lower. But we didn't. There was the whole CPI FUD and inflation FUD and whatever. And we created from there another higher high after a retrace, right? So this is the low. This is the high. Retrace. This is still just a retrace because this is still within the discount zone. It's still within the discount zone. It didn't close below. So what this put us with is that I was expecting a 50% reversal. And this is what I drafted here. I said we need, I've been, look at this. What does it say here? 303 total is the bottom. I think we hold through the market overreacting on CPI. Yes. And then I said we need to come back here. And this is something that should happen. The reason why I say something like this is because I don't know how deep this thing will go. Again, this is the discount zone. It can go all the way down here and then show a market structure shift. I don't know that, but I know it will come back below 50. And from there, it will reserve. And this is exactly reverse. This is exactly what happened. Look what happened. We come down to the 50% region, we show a market structure shift here, a higher high, and we reverse. Exactly as I thought it was going to happen. So as a summary, you can see the 50% retrace on every single time frame. And again, if you follow me on X, if you follow my profile, or if you follow my content on here and on Crypto Live and on the 100 Desk Club, you know that I've been calling for this level to be hit, 2.95. Why? Because this is the 50% retrace. We did not have a 50% retrace yet. And I've been saying that we need to get. And you know what I've also been saying down here? The exact same thing. When we were rallying up here, I was saying back in March, I was saying we need to come back down to the 50%. And when we got here, I said we have completed the 50% retrace. Equilibrium has been achieved. We can have another leg up. This is exactly what happened. But you can you can see it on all time frames. You can see it on here. On a weekly time frame, look, we running, come back 50, going higher. You will be able to see this on here as well, on a very, very high time frame. So you do have a low, a high, a low, a high, and at some point, we are going to get a massive, massive retrace down here on the next bull market, on the next bear market. So we're going to have a push, and then we're going to come back down to these regions. And that's how the market will simply start, moving forward. So a lot of DMs, a lot of questions. I hope this clears stuff out. This is the 50% retrace. There's a bunch of things that goes into trading. I would encourage you to subscribe here. I'll bring you some alpha here. But I have a trading channel. It's called the 100X Club. And I'm bringing you daily crypto alpha trading. We are getting back here. We're going to have trading strategies and much more. Do that. And the best thing you can really do to immediately maximize my knowledge and my knowledge when it comes to trading and start making money is to actually follow me on X, okay? There's a link in the description. Go and check it out and turn on notifications because I share my exact trades as well. All right, guys, I hope this clears things out. Remember, 50% level always comes back 50%. You always have to pull it before the breakout. When it breaks out, you have to pull the fib from the bottom to the top of the breakout and then wait for the 50%. When it gets to 50%, you wait for a 15-minute market structure shift, and then you simply ride the wave. This is one of the strategies you can use. You can use it on any tokens. Make sure, obviously, you trade something with that has liquidity, but in general, and good market making. And this is the way to go. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate you, every single one of you, for being here and watching this. If you like this, then please actually physically like this on YouTube. Smash the like button, share it with your friends. If you understood it and you loved it, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I will make sure to reply to all of you. And follow me on X. Come back for another one. And yeah, have an incredible Sunday. Take care.